Yay! End of day 3? 3?
3.
3! End of day 3.
We're very tired.
Oh, my feet. My feet are just gonna explode, and that's okay. I've gotten good use out of them. They've put in the time. I don't need them anymore. Today got off track because we didn't hit everything that we were planning on. But that's okay.
It was worth it.
First we grabbed empanadas at a subway station, like a subway shop inside the subway. It was
cute.
They were good. And then we went to the Hayden Planetarium, which is inside the Natural History Museum, which I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
So there went 4 hours. That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
Then we walked in and went, oh. We we went to go see our special show at the planetarium, and then it was like the history of the universe to the history of man to meteorites and gems, and here's Africa and the ocean, and we probably only saw a fourth of it. And we were there for 4 hours, just so much.
So much. My brain is fried.
So that means that we did not go to the Empire State Building or to the New York Public Library.
No, but now I know the relative size of an atom and a proton, which is way bigger than you might think. Way, like so much bigger. I can't even. So much bigger.
What was really interesting, and I pointed that out to you, they have a walk where they've basically like sliced off the observable history of the universe, and each step you take is like 6 million years or something as you go down the path. And it's this long walkway as you walk all the way around, and they show satellite images or whatever images they have, because light travels and takes time to travel. So a powerful enough telescope and you're looking through time when it comes to space.
It's so cool.
But my favorite was there was a plaque relatively close to the end.
Very close to the end.
That just said, in 1930, when this planetarium was built, if this walk had existed, this walk through the universe had existed at that time, this is where it would start, because it was as much as we knew. And it's like, I just went through billions of years, like all of this data, in less than 100 years, we have increased the human understanding of the universe by billions of years. What will we know 100 years from now?
Yeah.
I mean, we won't, because
we'll be dead. Yeah.
You'll be dead. I will be living on as some kind of digitized human being.
Fair.
I'll figure out a way to make that work. Anyway, so then we decided to go to Queens.
Is there anything else interesting that happened at the
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about good stuff first.
So, yeah. Museum. What else happened?
We lost each. You lost me briefly.
Oh yeah, I texted him. I don't know where you are. And then I turned around and there he was.
Yeah,
exciting.
Because I somehow could tell, even though we'd lost sight of each other, I need to pee. I'll bet you she needs to pee. And there she was at the bathroom.
And we walked around trying to find stuff.
There was a lot of fascinating things.
So big. So we went to the tropical rainforest section, which was really fascinating. Also freezing, like an actual fridge. Like I felt like I was inside a refrigerator. It was so cold.
I loved it.
I don't know why. And then we were walking through a bunch of stuff to try and find the gems. And we came upon the history of man, and at the time I was like, I'm not going to be interested in this. And then I go in there and I'm like, I suddenly need to read everything that's in this room. And that's how 4 hours went by.
So at that point, we went ahead and went to the last thing on our list to do today before the play, which was the Hall of Science in Queens.
Which turns out
40-minute trip out there, switch trains multiple times, or subway trains multiple times.
In Jackson Heights, which I'm pretty sure is like the neighborhood that In the Heights is based off of.
Yep.
And it looks pretty much exactly like it did in the film.
And then we turned a corner and there was the Hall of Science. And of course, we went inside. It was going to close in about an hour, but it was Friday, so it was free to get in. So what the hell? And do you want to tell them, or shall I?
I was looking at like a map of everything that was in the museum, and I walk over to Jeff and go, "Is this a children's museum?" And yes, it is. It is a children's museum, and there is lots of hands-on stuff. Like they were building stuff out of little Jenga blocks, and they were sewing things, and I can't remember what
They were
was.
They were building like an air-powered car.
Yeah, air-powered cars, and
But we went ahead and decided to look around a little anyway because we were there.
Yeah.
In this children's museum, the very first display we came across dealt with the topology of a Mobius strip. And it did not try to dumb anything down. Like, it was a lot of valid information that was not aimed at kids, I feel. Like, it's a kids' museum, but I didn't feel like they were specifically targeting kids with the information. It was just like, here's facts. Oh, and here's some stuff you can touch to make it more real for you. But, like, the facts were...
yeah.
I think that would have gone over my head as a kid, like the discussion of topology.
I have homework now because I need to figure out if Mobius strips are naturally occurring or if they're only created or whatever. I will say, I don't think any of the kids were reading any of that stuff because we went to, they had a happiness exhibit, which was fascinating. It was about emotions and stuff. And they had a bunch of questions, like scientists are trying to figure out what happiness is, what emotions are, that kind of thing. And they were asking questions like, do dogs feel joy? Or do ants?
Do trees feel emotion?
Do trees feel emotions? Yeah. And it was like, well, if you can't decide, they had like this little, you could like push a button and watch a video that would like tell you information that did not answer the question for you. But it also had like a little Plinko thing where you could vote. Like they had little tokens that said yes or no on them, and you could like stick them down into the Plinko. The kids were not watching the videos or reading the questions. They were just playing Plinko.
Those kids weren't getting educated.
Which I guess is valid, but like not the purpose of the exhibit.
There was an area about how physical activity makes you happy, and it had just a bunch of gently slopes. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to describe this. It was almost like a couple of small ziggurats because it was like
made out of like foam.
Yeah, a very very gentle incline, heavily padded.
Yeah.
And it was just
Very
hilarious to me.
kid-friendly.
I was sitting taking the weight off my feet for a minute, and there was a dad and his little son. The kid had to be, what, 3? 4?
Tiny kid.
Probably 3. 3 seemed right. This kid was convinced that he could not walk up or walk down these slopes. He was just positive in his head. His dad was trying to make him do it. And if his dad, like, held him up, he could walk up them. But the second his dad stopped holding him, the kid was just like, I will crawl up and I will slide down on my butt. And the inclines were like this.
They were very shallow.
It was actually quite hilarious to watch. I don't know if that dad appreciated some stranger laughing at his idiot son, but it was adorable.
Yeah. It was cute. It was a really fun exhibit.
We missed the dance class.
Yes, I'm so devastated. So like they had a happiness habits thing, and it was like things that you could do to make you feel happy. And it's like, as somebody who has chronic depression, severe, recurrent, this is a list of things that they always tell you to do, you know, like eat well, exercise, get enough sleep, do things you enjoy. And it's like, thank you. But they did have, I guess they do research here at this one. So
it is in some way affiliated with the Natural History Museum, and I know that because they were showing one of the same movies that we could have seen at the Natural History Museum. And they were very clear at the Natural History Museum, like, we got some copyright issues here, do not take pictures, do not take videos, it's very strict. So the fact that they were both showing the same movie tells me that there's some kind of relationship.
I don't know. The movie was Wings Over Water, which is narrated by Michael Keaton, because of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see it, but once I found out it was narrated by Michael Keaton, I wanted to. Anyway, so the happiness habits thing was like an experiment type thing that they were doing, where it's like, I guess you dance for 20 minutes and see if you feel happier afterwards. And it's like, who doesn't feel happier after 20 minutes of dancing? So we were sad to have missed that. But we'd taken that train ride 40 minutes out to get
and
there.
we had to go 40 minutes back.
So we tried to make the best of it.
You know, honestly, would I do it again? No, but I don't feel like it was a complete waste.
No.
I feel like we got some entertainment out of it.
It was cute.
And
And
then,
of course, it was in the poor part of Queens, so everything in there was broken.
yeah, a lot of broken stuff in the Hall of Science.
Which, you know, that's pretty typical for museums anyway. So then we had actually the only meal that I've had here that I actually enjoyed at Beyond Sushi, which Jeff's friend Cody took us to.
He specifically looked up vegan restaurants. He asked a vegan friend of his, "What do you
It
recommend?"
was an ex-girlfriend.
He asked a friend and his ex-girlfriend,
Did he really?
the two vegans that he knew.
That's very brave. So I appreciate the effort. And we went to Beyond Sushi, which is an all-vegan sushi restaurant, and it was delightful.
It was pretty good.
The only food that I've had this whole trip that had any fucking flavor. Sorry, cussing.
You're
Yeah. So what did we have? It was delightful. We had these like shiitake dumplings with something that was crunchy on them, and then like a peanut sauce. It was really good. You didn't like it. And then we each got like our own rolls, and Cody got like this spicy mango roll,
I got a mushroom roll, which was fine.
and I got like a sweet roll with like sweet potato and avocado and something delicious and spicy on top.
And then there was whatever that thing was we dipped the chips into.
The tuna tartare, I have no idea what it was made of. There's definitely avocado in it though.
Yep.
It wasn't tomatoes because Jeff would have thrown a fit.
I wouldn't have thrown a fit. I would have just taken a bite and not tried any more of it.
He loved it, so it obviously wasn't tomatoes.
Yeah, obviously no tomatoes.
Don't know what was in it. What else did we? And then we got this. It was a cookie, black sesame avocado cookie with matcha ice cream and black sesame sauce. It was, you know, I found it really interesting. I enjoyed like the flavor and stuff. I enjoyed it more than that cheesecake we had at Junior's, probably just because I've had cheesecake before and I hadn't had this before. So overall, I thought it was a really fun meal.
Yeah.
And I got lots of veggies, which I like.
Not a super cheap meal.
No, it's vegan food off, what was it, like West 56th?
Something like that. That sounds right.
It's like, and then of course it wasn't cheap, of course. And then we went to...
The whole reason for this trip.
Yep.
Well, at least the impetus. We went to go see Little Shop of Horrors off Broadway with Skylar Astin playing Seymour. And
It's only like 2 streets off Broadway.
yeah.
West Side Theater.
It was, how did you describe it? Not cozy, it was intimate.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was intimate.
It was a smaller theater, but man, they went all out.
Some art students, I guess, had decided to make little replicas of Audrey 2.
They made horror plants.
And they were exhibiting them around the theater.
Yeah.
Outside. Not
Out in the lobby. And
yes, and I had my first experience with a fully gender-neutral bathroom. So like there were urinals and stalls, and anybody who wanted to could go in there. And I think some of the gentlemen did not realize that it was a gender-neutral bathroom because they weren't necessarily careful about making sure everything was zipped up before they turned around from the urinal. So that wasn't my it was interesting.
when she looks back and thinks about memories of Little Shop of Horrors.
It's gonna be that bathroom.
So many penises.
No, just like one. But anyway, so you should talk about the show.
No, it was a great show. It was the first time I'd seen that take on Audrey. The actress playing Audrey decided to Audrey was drunk through the whole movie.
Which to me is way more plausible.
I mean, I'm not saying it was a wrong choice. It was just, I hadn't seen that choice before, but she made it work.
And I realized that the guy who was playing Seymour is also the dude from Pitch Perfect.
Yep, it's Skylar Astin from Pitch Perfect 1 and 2, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, and New Greg in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Hashtag only one Greg.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm aware. Yeah, the first Greg is the best Greg. But I do like Skylar in Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist and in Pitch Perfect. He was good in both of those.
The performances were great.
Yeah, he was great. Crystal Renette and Chiffon were a lot of fun.
Yes. I couldn't figure out if, what's her name? Audrey. I couldn't figure out if the actress playing Audrey was trying to sing well or badly. Like, she didn't really commit to one or the other. It just kind of changed depending on the song, I think.
Yeah. But Ellen Greene almost has that too, because in the movie and the play, Ellen Greene is the one in the movie, but she also originated the role on Broadway. She puts on this really high-pitched
Horrible voice.
For the character, and she makes sure to maintain that voice while singing, but there are a couple of places in her performance where she hits a note just right, and you're like, oh no, she can actually sing. Like, she's dirtying it up to stay in the character, but this lady's got pipes.
I felt like it was the opposite in this one. Like, she mostly sang well, and then there were moments of like very bad singing, and I was like, why is this happening?
But it was also, they had the actor who played Orin Scrivello also came back and played all of there's the Meek Shell and Harriet song that's in the play that's not in the movie. It's touched on in the movie. But they had him come in, and he also plays all of the three people that are making him sign contracts. Then he comes back in at the end.
Woman.
Yeah. I felt like the dentist was hamming it up a little.
Oh, for sure. The whole thing was kind of hamming it up a little. There were a lot of dude butt jiggle shots, which was interesting because there weren't any female ones, just dude butt jiggles.
But I also pointed out to Princess, one of the things I really like about Little Shop of Horrors is it's one of the few plays where, like, body image doesn't matter to casting for, like, 90% of the cast. I mean, there is kind of an expectation that Audrey is supposed to be at least a pleasing shape. Stereotypically pleasing shape. But, like, Seymour can be a scrawny nerd, he can be a fat nerd. It's fine. Crystal, Renette, and Chiffon, any shape, any color they want to be, have fun. Can they sing? Can they have personality? You got the part. You know, Mushnik is an older Jewish guy. The dentist probably needs to have some kind of physical attractiveness to him to counterpoint with the nastiness of the character, but by and large, most of the roles are just, hey, anybody can play any part, which is kind of nice. I am apparently alone on this.
I feel differently. I guess I'm more of the British line of thinking when it comes to casting. Like, cast whoever's good. I don't care what they look like.
Well, I think with this play, that is mostly done. Anyway, it was a great experience. This is the peak of my Little Shop fandom. You can't go anywhere from here, really.
Nowhere to go but up.
There's no up. We're at up. We're up. We're all the way. So tomorrow's plans.
We were wearing masks during the performance, but I'm pretty sure if he hadn't been, I would have just seen him beaming the whole time.
I was smiling pretty much the whole time. I did cry a little at the death scene. There were tears.
I did not. But I did, like, the parts at the beginning where they talk about how hard life is on Skid Row. That shit always gets me, man.
Just the cycle of poverty that you can't get out of.
Yeah, so painful.
So tomorrow, the only hard scheduled thing that we've got is we have Beetlejuice, the musical at 2. We want to see the New York Public Library. I want to, Central Park. I want to go to the Empire State Building because Cody said that's the one thing every person who comes here should do. Absolutely, 100%. And his recommendations have always been pretty decent. So
I'm honestly more interested in the Spy Museum, so we might split up for that. But we also have those tickets to the comedy show.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a famous comedy club, so maybe we should go.
I think we should too. Can't believe you're going to split up the band and have us do separate activity.
Shit happens. There's something else. Cody also gave us presents.
He did. He bought us both a manga called Spy Family? Family Spy?
Spy Family.
He is test driving it on us because he wants to trick his friends' kids into getting into anime and manga so that it forces his friend to get into anime and manga so that he will have a contemporary to discuss it with.
To which I wish him the best of luck.
But hey, free gift.
Yeah, I started reading it while I was in the show because I didn't.
During intermission.
Yes, during intermission because it was too dark to read during the show. I didn't hate it.
And I didn't hate you.
Aw.
We'll see what tomorrow brings.
We're very tired.
Yeah.
It may just be a very chill day.
Yeah. The point of the trip, the focal point of the trip went off without a flaw. So, like, it's all downhill from here. Like, we want to have some more good experiences, but whatever happens, happens. And as long as we leave happy.
Maybe less walking.
Maybe less walking. Anyway, see you guys.